I love you, honey. Hello again. Welcome back, everybody. Today we're gonna make a burrito. We're gonna make it from scratch and we're gonna make everything. First, I'm gonna start with the rice. And for the rice, I have 1 cup of rice. I have 2 cups of water. So 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water. I'm gonna turn on my fire on high and then put it on medium when it starts to boil. With that, I have about 3/4 of a teaspoon of cumin and a pinch of salt. And we're gonna let that cook. This is our rice. For our meat filling, so we're gonna have a burrito with rice, meat fillings, and instead of the beans, just adding the beans separately, I'm gonna put the meat filling with the beans. It's a red kidney bean. And this is, I'm gonna start right here. For the red kidney bean and minced meat filling, we have 1 pound of ground beef here. Of course, our olive oil in our pan. About 5 cloves of garlic, finely chopped. 2 small stalks of celery that I finely chopped. 2 medium onions, I'm using red onion, that are finely chopped as well, well diced, sort of sliced. For spices, very important, I have about 1.5 teaspoons of Mexican chili powder, about 1 teaspoon of Spanish paprika, about 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, about 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and another 1/2 teaspoon of cumin, ground cumin. So I'm gonna start with this celery, garlic in my pan. Of course, turn on the fire. That always helps because you can't cook anything without a fire. So we're gonna let that cook, brown it off. So the fire is on. I'm going to add my onions. Celery, garlic, onion. Let that brown a bit. Now for the rest of the ingredients, these here are for the toppings inside the burrito. I have some shredded old cheddar cheese, some shredded lettuce, that's regular iceberg lettuce, a diced small tomato, and of course some fresh cilantro. Also, we have our hot sauce, which we made right here. You can see the video for that, for inside the burrito. Burrito without hot sauce is not worth eating. So, and yeah, we're ready to go. And later on, we're gonna make our own wraps. We'll show you that. Gonna let this brown a bit. And the spices are very, very important. The Mexican chili powder and the paprika are very good. If you want it spicier, you can add a little cayenne pepper, which we're not gonna do. I'm gonna add my beef now. And we're gonna let this brown. It's gonna take a few minutes. I'll see you back when it browns and well cooked. While this is browning away, I'm gonna check on the rice. On my rice, it's been about 4 or 5 minutes now. It's gonna take about 15 minutes or so to cook this rice. It's just regular brown rice. It's a good quality regular brown rice. So that's gonna take about 15 minutes. We'll keep checking on it. And I haven't added my spices yet. I'm gonna wait a little bit till all my meat is well fried and brown and all broken up. I want it broken up into little pieces. And then I'm gonna add all those spices and my salt and my beans. Because the beans are, that's a can of beans. It's already, it doesn't need much cooking. Our dough that we're gonna make our wraps with, it's like basically a flour tortilla that's homemade here. This is about, ended up with 3 cups of flour, 1/2 cup of water, and our sourdough starter, which you don't really necessarily need, but I always use it. Since we have it, we'll use it. About 100 grams of sourdough starter. And we're letting this sit, and then we're gonna roll it really, really fine, and I'll show you when we get there. But it's almost ready. It's been sitting there about an hour or so, and it's looking fantastic. And I don't want this to be too wet. Yeah. And this is cooking away here. I still haven't added my spices. I'm going to add them very soon. I just want to brown this very well. I want it all cooked right through and brown. Really brown. I have been standing here slaving over this ground beef burrito mixture, and it's starting to brown a little bit. Actually, it's starting to cook very well. It's cooked right through. Now I'm going to start adding my, well, first let me add my salt. About a teaspoon, yeah, maybe a teaspoon of salt, yeah. And of course all our spices, paprika, Mexican chili powder, garlic powder with flakes, black pepper and cumin. Just add it like that everywhere. And make sure it's well stirred in. And okay, there it is. There's that smell, that magical beef, burrito beef stuffing smell. It's right there. It's unmistakable. It's delicious. There you go. Look at that. And usually when they make burritos in the restaurants that you get in those Mexican restaurants, each one of these items is done separately. We don't have to do that. The beans are done separately, the onions are done separately, and then the minced meat, garlic, celery is done separately. But since we're gonna eat them together in one, and it works very well like this, and it shortens the time that we have to cook because we're trying to make our videos shorter, this works out just fine. And you still get the same great taste, same proper, authentic burrito. And usually they make them either with beef or with beans. So we're gonna have all three, rice, beans, and beef. Still an authentic Mexican burrito. How does that look? It smells fantastic. So this is our beef filling. And that's done. We're just gonna let it brown a little bit and that's done. And then on to making the wraps. Doesn't that look awesome? Let me check on my rice here. Our rice is also done. As you can see, you can turn this off. There you go. Perfect rice. See that? Perfect, perfect rice. And that took about 15 minutes, a little under 15 minutes to cook. And it's done. Onto the wraps. So here we are. Our dough has been sitting about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. So I'm gonna start making my first wrap. I don't want my dough to dry up. It's covered. And I made our dough not as wet as usual. It's a little more firm than usual. See, I did this one perfectly. Look at this. Perfect. So you see, turn this over. There we go. I'm gonna turn it over again one more time. In the meantime, watch how I'm gonna roll this one perfect. You'll see. Look at this. I'm gonna take my time, but these tortilla wraps have to be large, so I need to You know, burritos has to be well wrapped. Yeah, so this is perfectly done. You can see, very pliable, soft, and cooked right through, but I don't want it more brown than this. This is the perfect burrito wrap. Oh, that's fantastic. So I'm gonna show you one more here. Exactly. It's gonna be very thin, less than 1/16 of an inch thick, because it's not gonna be on the fire very long, and it has to be cooked right through. And yeah, that's perfect. Has to be cooked right through without being crispy. Still has to stay light in color. I'm going to show you exactly right through. It won't take long because it should look like this. See? Soft, pliable, and cooked right through. Just a few seconds more, about a minute per side, I would say. That should do it. That's why we want it really thin. And when you start to see a little bit of bubbles like that, fantastic. Turn it over. And that is the perfect flour tortilla. Made right in your kitchen. Very simple. Flour, water, and salt. Does magic. See, I don't want these bubbles. I want to press them down because I want it to still be very pliable and good for wrapping. And tends to want to bubble up there, but I don't want that. I'm going to prevent that. So just flip over one more time. Even if it browns a little bit more than this, it's okay, but if it doesn't have to, as long as it's cooked right through, and I can see this is cooked right through. There you go, our perfect flour tortilla. So this is our last tortilla. We just put it in, just takes about a minute on per side, and we don't want it browned. Fantastic. That's the last one. There we go. And now we assemble our burrito. Let it brown a little more. Let me drink a sip of my tea. Now, for the burritos, you can have a vegetarian exactly the same, but omit the beef. You don't have to put the beef. And that's what make it a vegetarian. Do exactly the same thing without the beef. Perfect. Really nice, pliable, soft, cooked right through. So I'm gonna leave this on, and I'm gonna start assembling my first burrito. First thing I'm gonna do is get a spoon, put some rice, and burritos are nice, thick, fat wraps. I'm going to put some of our beef mixture, beef and beans right here. This already has the onions, it has the garlic, it has the celery, it has everything is already in there, all the spices. Put a little more beef. There we go. Of course, some of our shredded lettuce, some diced tomatoes, like so, some of our cheese, and if there is one of these ingredients you don't like, you don't have to put it. This is your burrito. And of course our cilantro. Here we go. And we wrap like this. Fold the sides over and go like that. tight, really tight, and you don't make a mess as I do. And perfect wrap. This is a perfect tortilla. And we put it in here. That's why I left this on like this, and we'll let it seal. And we have our burrito. Beef, bean, and rice burrito with lettuce, tomatoes, cheese, and cilantro. And it won't be long just to seal it up. It's gonna be perfect. It's gonna taste delicious, and I am gonna enjoy it. A little bit more. And of course, we clean as we go. That's a lot of filling here. So I'm gonna share some, maybe with my mom and dad. And don't worry, yes, I do practice social distancing. When I bring them something, I stay away far. I'm very careful with that because they're elderly and we don't want them to get sick. And that's it. Nice, sealed, perfect burrito. Now we wrap it. Sorry, I moved it away too fast. We wrap it and we start eating our fantastic, authentic Mexican burrito. That's gonna taste delicious. This is my hot sauce, which I forgot to put some in there. Next one, I'll put some hot sauce in it. Please do like, subscribe, and share our videos. Thank you for watching one more time, and do practice social distancing and be safe. Until next time, bye for now.